I'd like to call this meeting to order for Buena Vista Township Committee. It's a regular Township Committee meeting agenda being held on Tuesday, May 29th, 2018, due to the Memorial Day holiday. At this time, our clerk will call the roll, please.
Mrs. Kelly?
Here.
Mr. Martinelli?
Here.
Mr. Turner?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mayor Scirillo?
Here. On January 2nd, 2018, notice of this meeting was mailed to the Daily Journal and the press, and duly posted in the main lobby of the municipal complex. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. At this time, I'd ask us all to stand. I'll ask our Deputy Mayor, Teresa Kelly, to lead us in the flag salute.
I
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Next item on our agenda are approval of minutes. I'll turn to our clerk, Lisa Tilton, for an update.
Thank you, Mayor. I have set forth 5 sets of minutes for approval this evening. All took place on April 23rd, 2018. That includes the special meeting, April 23rd, 2018, the executive meeting, April 23rd, 2018 for 6 p.m., the caucus meeting, April 23rd, 2018, regular meeting, April 23rd, 2018, and executive meeting, April 23rd, 2018 for 7 p.m. All members were present.
You have copies of the minutes in your packets. Do I hear a motion to approve, please?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Martinelli, Mr. Williams. Roll call.
Kelly?
Yes.
Martinelli?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Scirillo?
Yes.
Item 5, announcements and presentations. Commander Liberto from the New Jersey State Police apologizes for his absence tonight. He had a viewing to attend. I will give his report based on the numbers that he provided us. Calls for service, 257. Motor vehicle stops, 478. Criminal investigations, 39. Motor vehicle crashes, 19. Alarm calls, and they were all false, 54. Burglaries, 4. Medical assist, 48, with 0 overdoses or Narcan deployments. The director of the King Community Center, Quentin McClendon.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. First thing I'd like to do is thank Council and administration. I've had some issues with my daughter, and I appreciate everyone's support. I tried to do as much as I could outside of work hours, but you guys have been very supportive, so I want to say thank you very much for that. I needed it. My report for this evening, just have some upcoming events that I want to announce, and they all have been posted on our website and our Facebook page as we sit here today. June 9th, we are having our first Father's Day Field Day. The Governor's Council on Drug Addiction Abuse will be sponsoring this event. So it is part of the Municipal Drug Alliance. So we're going to have a great day to honor fathers of the community. Everyone is welcome. We would like everyone that is going to attend to RSVP so that we know exactly how much food and stuff like that to prepare. But this is the first time we're having a Father's Day event. We always have a Mother's Day breakfast, which is usually a blast. So we got some special stuff for a father. We have a keynote speaker that's going to be there. So we're going to have fun that day. So I'm inviting all fathers to come out and have some fun at the Martin Luther King Center. We're going to have all the activities are going to be held outdoors, so we're just going to have a good old time. Also coming up in June, the 27th, we have our fourth annual Summer Bash. This is an event in which we honor all of the middle school age kids, honor society, community service. This year the middle school gave out what they called Oscar Awards for various good deeds that the students did, as well as Student of the Month candidates. So all of those people that RSVP to our invitation, they're getting personalized invitations. to come. We're going to be honoring them and giving out certificates for all those that attend. So that is on the 27th, and that'll be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a Wednesday afternoon, so we'll get the festivities started about 3 o'clock. The award ceremony is going to be about 5, and we'll be out of there at 6 o'clock after we have some good food. We're going to have food at that event as well. So that's our 4th annual event. And the last and final thing that I'd like to talk about that's new at the King Center that's coming is we have a summer lunch program for all students this year. If you're in the age of 0 to 18, we will feed you at the Martin Luther King Center Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 o'clock. I have to thank Deputy Mayor Teresa Kelly for being on my butt to get this thing done. We tried to do it last year, but we got the grant done. It's too late. But this year, we're approved, ready to go. We go to training on the 15th, and the feeding program starts on June 25th on a Monday. So 1 to 3, there'll be free lunches. I can accommodate up to 125 lunches. That's my max. I'd love to max it out. So, and it will be Monday through Friday. Again, give us a call to register, 609-704-7262, because we need to order from the caterer. We need to order the lunches in advance. And that's pretty much my report. Oh, just a quick update. Gateway, last week, their school year ended the 25th, which is Friday. And Wednesday, they had a send-off barbecue for all the parents and the kids. They had a great time. Park looked great from Park Public Works. So there was about 60 people attended that event. And we helped facilitate it by making a whole bunch of cheeseburgers for them. So we had a good time. So their school year is done. So they have about a month of in-service stuff that they'll have teachers. But the gateway side of the building will probably be vacated somewhere around the middle of June until August. So,
Quentin, you also recently had your Mother's Day event and
yes.
was bigger and better than it has been. You want to just give everybody a quick
Sure.
update so they can start marking the calendar for next year?
Yeah, well, the Mother's Day breakfast, we did have a good event this year. We did an arts and craft project with the kids. The kids presented their mothers with homemade candles and also with Mother's Day cards that they read to them at the end of the program. So it was very touching. It was very nice. We did have, I think we had, I believe it was about 14 mothers and roughly about 13, 14 kids. So every mother that was there got a gift. So it was a really nice event. We always have it in the week before Mother's Day, the Saturday before, but because of calendar, we actually had to do it the Saturday before Mother's Day. But we had a good event. It was well attended. Committee were present. That was great. And we had some brand new residents that came down. People came as strangers and left as neighbors. So that was very nice.
That was very nice. She even had a 94-year-old mother that attended.
Yeah, we had 3 generations, 94, 70-some-year-old daughter, and
Next.
their daughter.
Next.
So it was amazing. And they traveled from Millville, I believe. So that was very nice to have them. Yes. So thanks for that, Mayor.
No, you're welcome, Quentin. I'm always glad when long-time plans come together and it all comes to work. So
And good
Thank
news
you.
about the summer program. I'm very glad.
Yes, that is going to
That's
happen
nice.
finally. So the lunches will be there starting June 25th, 1 to 3 o'clock. And we are going to have activities and programs and different things in that 2-hour window. So kids will have something to do. They can just come and get their food and leave. But if they want to hang out, we're going to have games, activities, and arts and crafts for them in that 2-hour period. So looking forward to it.
Mayor Cirillo has asked me to interrupt the announcements and presentations here for a special events presentation.
right, we had added that later in the day today, and we have with us our new special events chairwoman. It's not new anymore, but she's been with us for at least since March, I guess, thereabouts, is Beth Conway. Beth, if you want to come to the mic. I'm also going to call down our township clerk, Lisa Tilton, because they have been comrades in arms in getting the events that are coming up now and in the next couple of months together. And I don't know, I know we had you on one other time, we hadn't given people a chance to meet you. So we decided, let's get that chance going. We are just coming off a successful Richland Village Festival. We are heading right into the concert season, and we are coming up with a very unique double-purpose Independence Day celebration. And I thought maybe you could tell us, the one thing I'd like to say, because from the township standpoint, these items have already paid for themselves with the sponsors, contributors, donations, fees that get charged to food vendors, etc. I'll give you mine just in case you don't have that, but wanted you to take a little time to tell us about each of the different events, but let's start with the one we just passed.
Richland Village, yes. Once again, my name is Beth Conway. I am chairwoman of the Special Events Committee and the mayor's secretary. Very proud to be here tonight. We did have a very successful Richland Village Festival. I'm very thankful to everybody that participated. My Public Works Department did an awesome job. Lisa, my right hand, couldn't have done it without her. My Special Events Committee, all the ladies of the Special Events Committee just did everything we could to make this a great day, and I think we succeeded. Yes, so I'm happy to hear that. But we do have another event coming up, our 4th of July celebration. That will actually be July 7th, so don't get confused. But yes, we have Jakarta is sponsoring their whole. They're going to have the whole family fun, drug-free, alcohol-free zone. They're going to have all kinds of fun eating contests, the field games, spike ball, cornhole, all these family-oriented games. It's going to be a great time. The canine demonstration by the state police will also take place. We'll have our fire truck and EMS vehicle parade and show. They'll be there for the event as well. And also, we will have our wonderful food vendors and some craft vendors. We're going to have bouncy houses, too, for the kids. One of them has water, so bring a towel and an extra change of clothes, because you will get wet in that one if the kids want to come on that one. But it will be a great day. Lisa, did I miss anything on that one?
I think you pretty much hit it. It's a little bit different this year. I'll come this way. It's a little bit different this year for the 4th of July. We usually have a car show. We changed it up a little bit and changed the car show to honor all of our first responders, all of our fire, EMS, and fire rescue, and to actually do a truck show for them, and to give out plaques and awards to them, and then turn it right into complete family fun oriented. Just like Beth indicated, the Municipal Alliance, Drug Alliance, is sponsoring part of the event, which is called the Family Fun Day. It's going to be their first part. They're taking up basically the whole softball field up front, and it's going to be a variety of events, including a little bit of contests for spike ball and cornhole, tosses. The New Jersey State Police will do their state helicopter as flyovers, and then obviously as the sun goes down, we will have the most spectacular fireworks display that Buena Vista always puts on every single year. So you could definitely look forward to that. It's going to be bigger, funner, family-oriented, so we hope everybody spends the whole day there.
We have
Starting at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
and Nikki G will be there,
Yes.
and he
Nikki G will
usually
be our
packs
DJ.
them in.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be there the whole day. Hay rides, like I said, water slide, the whole 9 yards. So it's going to be a great day. You don't want to miss that one. Then, coming up, starting on June 27th, Wednesday evenings, we have our summer concerts at the park, at Michael Debbie Park. We have 8 great bands lined up. It's going to be a great evening each night, each Wednesday. The concession stand will be open. The ladies of the special events serve up some hot dogs and pretzels and ice cream and cakes and cookies and stuff, lots of food. So you want to come and visit us over there at the concession stand and get yourself some food. But you definitely want to come and see the great bands. A lot of them are local talent. Come and support them. Each Wednesday, each concert starts at 7 p.m. and we have a rain date set for August 29th. All right. So I think that pretty much covers it all. But once again, coming off of Richland Village Festival, I just want to say thank you. It's been an honor to be your special events chairman, and I'm happy to be the mayor's secretary now, so I can accomplish even more. So I'm just hoping to make all our Buena Vista events very special for y'all. Thank you.
And just to add one quick note, all of our flyers, which indicate everything that's going on with the events, they are located on our Facebook page for Buena Vista Township. They're also located on our website, which is www.buenavistanj.com. If you have any questions, you can contact the Township Clerk's office or the Mayor's office, 856-697-2100, extension 1 for the Clerk's office or 8 for the Mayor's office. And we will definitely get back to you. We're looking for craft vendors, merchant vendors. For the 4th of July, the application's online, so definitely come out and join us.
And I want to just go back to the Richland Village Festival. You know, after having one of the wettest spells on the face of the earth, and having not only our event date and our rain date canceled, you know, it was touch and go even for the third date. I mean, but I guess we got the best of the Memorial Day weekend out of it. We did have a 100-car show. We did have the trains running all day, crafters, bouncy houses, and all sorts of good things. And, you know, every year you have to reshape these events to make them a little different because things change along the way. And I just think that the Special Events Committee did an exceptional job. If we had just could have turned the humidifier down a little bit, you know, it's like, no.
That one we couldn't quite control.
Or turned up the dehumidifier, one of the two. But no, it's great. And we also had 2 bands at the Richland Village Festival. And the funny thing is, when an event gets changed, you worry about, can you get everybody back? Can you pick up some new people? Well, it kind of all balanced out. Lonnie Youngblood, who will be playing during the regular summer concert series, the last concert in August, couldn't make the Richland Festival, but we were able to get Kenny Jeremiah. He used to be with a band called the Jeremiah Hunter Band, and years ago, I'm dating myself with the Soul Survivors, the people who did the song Expressway to My Heart, and another group, Shirley and Company, and did a song called Shame, Shame, Shame. And they had a number of hits, and unexpectedly, we were able to get them. And we had 1080 Drive. And so we had a super day. And I want to compliment Beth and Lisa, Public Works, and you know, the whole special events team for making this come together.
We want to put a special thank you also to New Jersey State Police.
Yeah.
Our station commander, Mr. Liberto, he reached out a lot of resources to get us a canine demonstration, also to get us the state police helicopter to land, and Richland Volunteer Fire Company, which had to shift some of their demonstrations around, but they also pulled through the night before to change up some demonstrations. So this is what it's about. It's our first responders. They come through for us. So definitely for the 4th of July, we want to come through for them and definitely show our appreciation.
And the state police provided protection along Route 40
Yes.
for the entire event. They'll be with us for the Independence Day Festival. And Steve, I wanted to jump in on your report earlier with the numbers on the state police, but these are the kind of new relationships that have been forged and getting a lot more cooperation. And I
Right,
gotta
Mayor,
say,
they're not going to charge us this year like they tried to last year,
that's right.
which is nice.
Worked out really well.
Ladies, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Steve, thank you.
Just also wanted to thank Sue Williams, who is also on that committee, and Pam McDaniels, who also helped and did a good job.
Donna Freeze.
And Donna Freeze also worked hard that day, along with Sue Williams, manning the bouncies, which were a job in that heat, definitely.
Okay, back to you, Steve.
Acting Director of the Public Works Department, Brian Johnson.
Good evening, Mayor, Committee, residents, and the public. Public Works Department monthly report. I'd like to start out with we had a great turnout for our monthly waste and recycle drop-off. We had a lot of residents come up and had a lot of recycle, a lot of used motor oil, and a lot of things that I'm happy to see that the residents are taking their time to come when we offer them a time to drop it off instead of us finding it on the shoulders of the road or in the woods. So I'm happy to see that that the residents are taking advantage of that service that the city provides to them. Storm brush, it's a huge problem still. We've been at it almost every day since the storm. It just seems like it's continuing to just come out of nowhere. At people's backyards, side yards, we're doing our best to stay on top of it. We've had a few problems with our chipper. We've been doing our best to keep that running. Our chainsaws and everything, we've been keeping up on all the equipment, but it's just been taking a pretty big abuse as far as the amount of brush and trees that we had to clean up this season. I see a light at the end of the tunnel. I see a lot of the streets are a lot cleaner. We still have a few more in the city that need to be addressed and taken care of. They're definitely on the list. So anyone who has any piles that we missed over, or basically what's been happening is we've done 2 or 3 full trips through the whole township. And what's happened is we have multiple residents that are bringing out more piles. So we just have to have these residents continue to call us and let us know and give us your name and your address so I can put you on the list, because once we go down your street and it's clean, we won't know to come back down your street until somebody calls and gives us a heads up that you have more brush out there. Right. We started our spring and summer road replenish program, and that just consists of all the roads and paper streets that are still made of dirt and gravel. We're trying to maintain them, keep everything graded, keep all the potholes out. We've been filling a tremendous amount of potholes after plow season. As everyone's aware, after a lot of plowing, the roads take a lot of abuse and a lot of potholes start to form. That also consists of cutting roadside grass. Every day we've been out trying to have the 2 mowers cutting the roadside grass and everything down. I noticed that a lot of residents like to walk in the evenings, walk with their dogs and just walk for exercise. And we're doing our best to keep the roadside grass cut. So if you have to step off the road, if there's traffic coming, that you don't have to worry about ticks and jiggers and you're not walking through high grass, and we're gonna try to keep it nice and prepped for everyone.
Brian, there's been some dumping too, if you want to mention that,
Yeah.
and what residents can do if they see someone potentially ready to dump in the woods or something.
Yep, that's correct. I also have that on my list. We have been experiencing a lot of illegal dumping throughout the township. If anybody spots it, please call me right away, and then we will go out and check it out. And if there's any way we can find any kind of material, any kind of mail, addresses, pictures, anything that we can find who it belongs to, we can take it to the next step and possibly, fine them or have them pay for us to clean it up and dispose of the dump site. All the parks have been limed and fertilized, and also as town hall, all the fields been dragged and maintained. With the baseball fields, we're keeping up with all the events that are happening every weekend. We're staying on top of that. The guys been doing a good job opening up the parks in the morning and making sure all the bathrooms are open and clean for all the residents and people that are visiting and enjoying the parks. Also, the parks were mulched and painted prep for summertime. We, there's a lot in Michael Debbie Park. There's a couple low spots still that are holding a lot of water. Obviously, as the mayor mentioned, we've had a tremendous amount of rain this year, so that's why a lot of the water's still laying in the park. But we're gonna come up with a couple ideas to maybe have that water drain to a certain area, or try to pitch it in a way that it won't lay in the park and be an eyesore when you drive by, you know, from the roads. It just happens to be the lay of the land and how the water lays there where it runs off the sides of the streets. And last and not least, all the prep work that went in for the Richland Festival. I want to give a special thanks, not only to my public works crew, all the guys worked together, did a tremendous job of just all the tedious little jobs and also the big jobs getting ready for the festival. And also special thanks to the Special Events Committee. They were a pleasure to work with, and you know, prepping for the event, which once again was a great success. And that concludes my monthly report for Public Works.
Thanks, Brian. Steve?
Brian, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I was over the park Saturday, Michael Debbie Park. There was some kids over there getting set up for the roller rink.
Okay.
They were telling me that the roller rink is in disrepair. If it is, would you please look and tell us what we need to fix it before one of them kids kills themselves over there?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
Our township engineer, Dave Scheidig.
Thank you. Mayor, Township Committee, we did a report dated May 23rd. I'd like to touch on a couple of the highlights on that report. The first item was Mike Debbie Park. As you know, the township received, has been approved for funding from Green Acres to put new lights around the athletic fields. We are going with LED lights. It's relatively new technology for athletic field lighting, but the cost savings are tremendous. As part of the design, we'll be removing all of the old wooden secondhand telephone poles that were put up there that currently hold the incandescent lights. And we'll be replacing some of them with galvanized poles 70 to 80 feet tall. We'll have much less poles than are there currently. The poles will hold more lights. Each pole will hold more lights, and they'll be spaced such that we get excellent coverage over all three of those athletic fields: baseball, softball, and football. We finished our design for the poles and the luminary design and all of those items. The last thing we're working on is the electrical distribution and the controllers. With this new technology, LED lights, we have many more options for controllers. Right now, there's some's on a push button, some's on a timer. The new stuff can even be controlled by a cell phone. When it goes on, when it goes off, set the timer that way. So we'll be presenting that to you for some options on how we want to work those final controls out for that project. Like I said, it's near completion, and we'll be ready to submit to Green Acres shortly for their approval, for pre-bid approval. The second item on my list is item number 3, Richland Village. As you know, we had to install a stormwater management basin. H4 Enterprises LLC was the contractor. They got most of the work done last year. Had to stop at the end of the winter time. They could not do the seeding because of weather. So topsoil, fertilizer, seed, and mulch has now all been installed. We're starting to get good grass growth out there. We are monitoring it along with Cape Atlantic Soil Conservation District. Once the grass reaches 80% coverage throughout and grows to a height of 2 inches, we'll then be able to sign off on that project and do the final paperwork for closeout. And that shouldn't be too long. It's looking good out there right now. Another item on my list is Weymouth-Malaga Road Phase 6. This is an NJDOT grant, the 6th phase of this. It's a little over 3,300 lineal feet in length. It's from where we stopped to Route 54. Plans are done. Design plans are 100%. Specifications and bid documents are about 80% right now. We'll be in a position to submit that to the DOT by the end of the week. Once we get their approval and their blessings, we'll then be able to go out to bid. We're anticipating paving sometime probably late June if all things go well. And that'll finalize Weymouth-Malaga Road, and then we'll be able to look to another road for future DOT funding. 2017 local road program. Again, that project was not quite finished by the end of last year. The only thing that was left to do was thermoplastic. Thermoplastic is very temperature, it relies on temperature. You have to have the ground at a certain temperature. Now that it's warmed up, that's all been done. All the stop bars, all the railroad crossings having to do with Line Street and on Don Road are all now done. And we'll be closing that project out as soon as we get the final bill from the contractor. One of the other projects we've been working on is the Public Works Building. Last month I indicated that the architectural plans were completely finished. Now I'm happy to say that the plumbing, the electrical, the structural, and the HVAC designs have all been done. We have a set of plans here that we're going over, fine-tuning it right now. Once that's been completed, a couple last items ironed out, we'll be able to submit for final review and approval by for the funding for that project. Number 11 on my list, 2018 local road program. This was a project that the township has authorized, about $800,000 in road paving. It's over 17,000 lineal feet. Washington Avenue, Lorraine Avenue, portions of West Jersey Avenue, portions of Railroad Boulevard, several sections of Main Avenue, Millville Avenue, Locust Avenue, sections of Keynes Mill Road, and the vast majority of 6th Road in Newtonville are all scheduled to be repaved. That's about 3.5 miles of new road in the township. These are the worst roads, the worst condition roads right now, and that will address our worst situations, try to take some pressure off of Public Works. There are several other roads that need work, but they would qualify for funding from other agencies, so we're not considering them as part of the local road program. They qualify for DOT or CDBG or any of the other agencies that provide funding, so they're on our list, and we're requesting funding for all of those so we can get to those last sections of roadways. Last thing that I want to report is the tax maps. Our office has been working on those, making all the revisions from the past 3 years. We got the information from Bernadette. All the tax maps have been revised. She's approved them, and we've delivered hard copies and electronic copies back to the township. That's all I have from this month's reporting.
Very good.
Dave, just a quick comment. Over in Richland, the basin area that you're talking about with the grass growing in and coming
Yes.
in, I mentioned this a month ago, but I just want to clarify that is a retention basin for water for the western side of the railroad tracks.
That's correct.
And in no way, shape, form, or otherwise resembles any kind of a sewer plant. Is that correct?
That is correct this month also.
There's no piping, plumbing, or anything in the ground that would allow it to act as a sewer plant on the weekends or anything like that, right?
Absolutely correct.
Do we
Okay.
still have that same fairy tale person going around telling
I
people
do have that,
Yes.
and I keep getting approached about it, and I keep saying there is no sewer plant. What we have on the east side of town, which is the Richland Volunteer Fire Company Retention Basin, acts for water retention, absorption purposes on the east side of the tracks, and this new basin acts on the western side of the tracks.
Yes, they're both regional basins.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good report, Dave.
You have the floor, sir.
Oh, well, I don't think I have any more to say at the moment. How do you like that? No, Dave reported on a lot of the good highlights we have going on. We also, moving forward, I will tell you, with community development block grant monies to get a new heating cooling system at the Dr. Martin Luther King Center. That's in the early stages, but we have saved up enough money to get that program rolling in the very near future, and Dave will be working with Kenya on that. John, you got a nice grant for finishing up the Nature Trail.
Park Trail. Yeah,
And-
Kenya assisted on that, in getting that application in through.
And I know at the Richland Festival, you were giving out a paper. It was in its early infant stages, but it was the potential that we're going to have a map available for residents and visitors to Buena Vista of where all the farms and produce stands are located.
Yes.
And I know you gave out a preliminary copy that'll have photographs and turn into a regular pamphlet sometime in the not-too-distant future.
Yeah, that's one of our sustainable Jersey initiatives that we're working on through Environmental Commission.
That's all I have, Steve.
Very good,
Thank you,
sir.
John.
Item 7, ordinances for introduction, first reading. There being none, I'll move to item 8, ordinances for public hearing, second reading. There are 2. 56-2018, amending Chapter 30, officers and employees. I'm gonna let Dominic handle this before he throws it back at the mayor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Martinelli. Just a quick for the audience's edification. This ordinance is simply amending 2 sections of Article 8 of Chapter 30, which references our Public Works Director. Currently, those 2 sections say part-time Public Works Director, so we're simply striking the part-time with the hiring of Mr. Johnson to keep it consistent with what's going on in the township. So now we have a full-time Public Works Director. The code will now reference Public Works Director and strike out the 2 references to part-time. So all that ordinance is doing is striking the part-time. That's all.
Mayor Cirillo?
Authorizing the sale of public land. There were some small pieces of land that you had presented to the committee, Lisa.
Yes, Mayor. This ordinance will set forth the sale to be conducted on Monday, June 11th, 2018 at 6:15 p.m. if adopted this evening. Those 2 properties would be located Block 4301, Lot 22 on Lorraine Avenue. It is an undersized lot with an approved minimum bid of $700. And the second property would be 8419, Lot 9, Tuckahoe Road. It is an undersized lot with a minimum bid of $900. Both were at the request of an individual to purchase those properties. They have been vetted, and if this is adopted this evening, that sale will go forward.
First
They have to
part,
be contiguous owners, right?
The contiguous owners have the first right of refusal to purchase the
Right.
property. If a contiguous owner does not purchase, it goes right up immediately to the public for public sale the same night.
okay. Number 9, Steve. Well, right, we're gonna
Yeah, you're
we're
gonna
go-
To
gonna
open to the public.
open to the
we're
public.
gonna open to the public on these 2 ordinances in number 8 only.
You can take them one at a time.
Okay.
So we got to take
All
a
right.
motion to open the
All
hearing.
right, take a motion to open up on 56-2018, amending Chapter 30, officers and employees of the township. Do I hear a motion?
Moved. Second.
Mr. Martinelli, Mr. Williams, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's now open to the public on this ordinance, and this ordinance only on second reading.
Seeing none, motion to close.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Let's, I guess, take the vote on that one. At this point, a motion to approve.
Moved.
Mr. Martinelli,
Second.
Mr. Williams, roll call.
Kelly,
Yes.
Martinelli.
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Cirillo.
Yes. The next one is number 57-2018, authorizing the sale of public lands as outlined by our clerk just a couple of moments ago. To hear a motion to open to the public on this ordinance.
Motion to open to the public?
Mr. Williams,
Second.
Mrs. Kelly, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is open to the public on this particular ordinance, and this ordinance only. Anyone wishing to address the committee? Seeing none.
Motion to close.
Mr. Martinelli,
Second.
Mr. Williams. Motion to approve on second reading.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Kelly, Mr. Turner. Roll call.
Kelly,
Yes.
Martinelli.
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Cirillo.
Yes.
Item 9, public comment on current agenda items only. In order for the committee to conduct the business of the township in the most productive manner possible, meeting attendees will be given 2 minutes all inclusive, to comment on any agenda item or items without comment or question from the committee, but only on items specified on the agenda listed for the current meeting. Please stand at the microphone at the appropriate time. State your name and address for the record. Resolutions 134-18 authorize payment of bills in the amount of $1,756,004.13. For the record, the school board grabbed $819,035.25. Consent agenda. Consent agenda includes items of business which are not controversial and do not require individual discussion. A motion approving the consent agenda is moved, seconded, and voted upon as one item by the Township Committee. If any discussion is requested on a consent agenda item, it is removed from the consent agenda to the regular agenda. Resolutions 135-18, authorizing the issuance of street opening permits to South Jersey Gas. 136-18, authorize leave of absence for Alan Burgoyne. 137-18, authorizing approval of application for social affairs permit for St. Padre Pio Parish. 139-18, award informal bid to Gabrielle Sicking Construction Company, Incorporated. Defer back to the mayor.
Thank you, Steve. Obviously, number 10, you've already detailed out. Half of that bill is the school district.
Yes, sir.
In the consent agenda, standard street opening permits for South Jersey Gas, a 3-month leave of absence for a public works employee, approval of a social affairs permit at the St. Padre Pio, and award of some refurbishing of the courtroom offices, court office area of the township building that we have spoken at previous meeting to bring it up to date in a number of different ways. That being said, take a motion to open to the public on any comments.
Moved.
Second.
Mr. Martinelli, Mrs. Kelly, roll, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's now open to the public on items in number 10 and 11 only. Anyone wish to address the committee can do so at this time.
Good evening, Julie Akers, Newtonville. I had a question on resolution number 139, 2018, regarding the renovations to be done to the courtroom area, and specifically, what kind of renovations are you anticipating for that? And from the capital account, I see that it looks like from one it's coming from 2017 and also from 2018. Am I correct on that?
Two
I just
different
was curious.
sources of funding, yeah.
Excuse me, so does that close out the 2017 account?
Yes, it does. So.
And so what's remaining in our 2018 account then, if 11,700 is coming from that one?
Yes, I believe, don't quote me on this, Ms. Julie, but I believe that there was $50,000 put in the 2018 budget for town hall renovations and upkeep.
And was
So-
that with our budget this year?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, you will see that in the budget. And so what I did was I exhausted all the funding that was in 2017 for town hall, which was also raised in the 2017 budget. And the renovations is basically painting, doing some shelving back there, the rugs, there's the bathroom there as well.
Making it handicap
You make-
accessible.
Yes. And there's there is a closet that also has to be updated. You're talking about painting, shelving, closet, a bathroom, rugs. It's
Okay, oh, I
nothing
understand.
major, nothing.
We don't have our court anymore, so
Correct.
that's why I was just curious what
So it
the
could have
purpose is.
alternate uses.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anyone else wish to address the committee at this time? Seeing none,
Motion to
motion to
close.
close. Mrs. Kelly,
Second.
Mr. Williams. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. First thing I'll go back to is payment of the bills, number 134-18. Hear a motion?
Moved.
Mr. Martinelli?
Second.
Mrs. Kelly? Roll call.
Kelly,
Yes.
Martinelli,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes, and there's a fee for the county of $798,544.27 in addition to the school payment, and it's yes,
Thank you.
That's a
Shirley.
quarterly payment.
Yes.
quarterly payment, yes.
So you got county and school in there. Okay. Very good. Next is a consent agenda approval for resolutions 135, 36, 37, and 139. Do I hear a motion to vote?
Motion to approve?
Mr. Williams, Mr. Turner. Roll call.
Kelly,
Yes.
Martinelli,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shirillo.
Yes. Next we have is our Township Administrator, CMFO. Any report that she might have to share with us this evening? Kenya?
Just coming in July, and this is for our personnel for all departments. We were talking with folks from AFLAC, and they should be coming around soon to do their presentation, and they want to see employees one-on-one, which is an opportunity for employees to be a new enrollee. If you are an enrollee, change whatever you have in the program. They're also going to be talking about the cafeteria enrollment plan, and that's more detail that they will be presenting to the employees. Also, I'm organizing a procurement card procedures training for township employees as well. And that concludes my report, sir.
Thank you very much. Turn to our Township Clerk, Lisa Tilton. You have a report in here this month for the collections of the clerk's office. Do you want to give us a quick review?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. We provided our monthly report of receipts for the month of April, totaling $54,366.96, including working with the fire marshal and those permits as well, collecting $1,194. We also processed 18 complaints this month. Zoning complaints mostly, again, as it starts to rain, the grass starts to grow. So we are receiving complaints regarding how high grass has been on residential properties as well as commercial properties. So just a quick reminder on behalf of our zoning officer to please maintain your properties for any type of grass cutting, shrubbery, maintenance of anything, as well as any type of trash or debris. That will cut down on some of the complaints that we receive. If you do have a complaint, please contact the clerk's office, 856-697-2100, extension 1, and we will pass it along to the appropriate department. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Also, just with tonight's report, we have our tax collector's report. Our collections are up for the year to date. We also have a report from the tax assessor. We have a zoning report from our zoning officer, with updates to the committee. We also have an animal control report with various updates to the committee on the different calls during the last month. Those are our department reports. Steve, we'll go next to township committee members. You want me to skip over? You got something?
No. On the lighter side, I'm going to yield to Committeeman Williams because I was looking at the list that he's going to make a report on tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I will be here a while.
I thought it looked like he had the yellow pages.
Yeah, I'm going to yield.
John Williams, you're on. David, I promise I'll get you next.
On the 21st of May, I attended a shuttle data survey that we're working on with the shuttle and the 5440 shuttle. And Quentin McClendon also participated in that, and Mr. Harlan. What we were trying to do is develop some data on the shuttle to improve ridership. We're currently averaging 54 passengers per day average, and we need to get to 64 to get to continue the sustainability through 2022. So we're doing some things to improve the shuttle ridership, so we're working on that currently, the transportation group. And next, I attended the Atlantic County Mayors Association meeting with Committeeman David Turner, and we attended a meeting breakfast, and it was for the New Jersey Back Bay's Coastal Storm Risk Management Feasibility Study. And this is a study from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, which they presented a summary of the New Jersey Back Bay's Flood Risk Management Feasibility Study. And the goal of the meeting was to increase opportunities for stakeholders, understand the purpose, outcomes, and technical products of the New Jersey Back Bay study, and to develop a shared vision for community coastal resilience in a systems context. What they did is provided areas prone to tidal flooding, talked about local support and concerns on alternative measures, documentation of structural elevations, documentation of storm damages, and cultural resources in historic districts. What they also talked about is the back bays, and there's 12 inlets to the back bays that provide the flooding for the risk management. Also at that meeting, the Dennis Levinson, the county executive, presented the information about the pilot, and last year it was at 10.5%, not the stated 13.5%. Then this year it went to 12%, which was an increase of $2 million. And next year, for a total of 6 years, it's going to be the actual 13.5%. The governor resolved that issue, and then we are going to have the $30 million will be coming to the county for that. So that
Is it going to help the towns any, John?
Yeah, it said it would help the towns somewhat. And that was basically at that meeting. And then next I attended the festival on the 26th, and the Environmental Commission gave out 127 hummingbird feeders. And also we, as you mentioned earlier, Mayor, we gave out the farm tour maps for all the local farm tours, and then this is going to be developed into an actual brochure. So we gave people a heads up on that, and that will be coming soon. And also we, as you mentioned before, we had Michael W. Park Trail. We got approved for the $500 grant to put those monies into the trail, actual trail.
$1,500?
$1,500. Yeah.
We're upping your bid right
So
now.
that, yeah, so that we can restore the trail somewhat. And that's all I have.
Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, Steve. I mean, you know. David Turner, what's on your wish list tonight?
Not too much. Mr. Williams sort of, went over what we went to, and they sort of gave us synopsis of, 1,500 years in, what Atlantic City would look like and what the Corps of Engineers wants to do, and everything. It's going to cost a lot of money, but they're going to try to, instead of waiting, to do it in increments, because it's going to cost $2 or $3, $4, or $5 billion, it's for real. Climate change is for real. It's going to happen and everything. So at least, the county is giving, and the Corps of Engineers will give them synopsis of what's going to be and everything, and which is good. Okay. Also, the township is moving forward off our 16 cents point in 9. We do a whole lot with it. Me being a short time on this committee, I see exactly what they do, and local government does do good with what they do. And I have to commend the committee here, not because I sit here, I see exactly what they do with it there, and they do a good job. for the residents. Having worked in another municipality for 33 years, you know, I understand it takes a lot of innovation for the cities and towns to get by, because the aid from the state, federal government is getting cut all the time. It's going to get worse and everything. And you know, me being a public works man, that's my first love. And you know, I ride this township because I love the people here. I've been here 14 years. I love the people here. And I'm sort of a novice. I'm not a type of person that, you know, I say, well, you know, this person, this section, I love all sections, and you'll see me all over the place there, you know, and everything. And Brian will tell you, I'll call him and say, hey, Brian, this needs to be done. And this gentleman he's good. He's really good there, you know. So that's the public works in me. And, you know, the time I'm on this dais and I represent this town, they will get the best out of me. And this town, you know, it's got a ways to go. I see some things that has to be corrected, but it takes time. It takes time, you know. And that's about all I have, you know. And, you know, I just wish everybody, you know, a good summer. You know, summer's coming pretty soon. This is my favorite time of year, although I don't like the heat anymore. Okay? But my dear wife, she's in that yard, so she dragged me out there. So, you know, everybody have a good summer.
We're testing out the summer heating system here in the courtroom tonight. Some reason or other, there has been an air conditioned failure somewhere, and we're just not as bad as Saturday at Richland. I will say that.
Mayor, when I got home, my wife and my grandbaby and my daughter out there, my baby girl, and I took my shirt off and I could wring it out there. So I probably lost 3 or 4 pounds, which my wife was happy. My doctor too.
Teresa Kelly.
Well, Steve, were you gonna go?
No.
I yielded.
That was his way of switching horses
I
real
thought you were
quick.
waiting
Yeah,
until
enough for
after
me
John. Okay, no, that's fine. I just wanted to remind all our residents, the 15th annual Run for Ricky is coming up, and that's on Saturday, June 9th. And that'll start at 10 a.m. at the Wilcox home on Friendship Road. And it's a very nice event, and the funds they run help the scholarships at the schools, and they do a good job with that. And we donate our park for their use so that they can give more money to scholarships, and so we're happy to do that again. And a lot of my stuff was mentioned. Special Events did a fantastic job, and that was a very smooth running Richland Village Festival, so I thought it was very smooth and went fast, and I appreciate everybody's help with that. And our other activities were mentioned. And I attended also the environmental meeting, which John has covered, the planning board meeting, township officials meeting. And regarding the pilot program, I did ask a couple of the freeholders, is that money going to help the towns? And they were not sure. They mentioned that possibly there is back burner items that have put on hold and they might have to fund them first. So I'm not really sure it's going to help the towns yet. I'm hoping so. The problem continues to be the tax assessment of casinos. It still is not resolved. This pilot program is just a temporary pilot, but after it's over, the casino and their assessments is still going to be a problem. So let's hope. And a lot of the officials are saying we have to get it right next time because this is just a temporary fix and it will affect us. And I know it's been a long-going problem, and so we hope that can be resolved in the future before the pilot program runs out, and then we'll be starting all over again. So I think that's all I have, Mayor. A lot of the announcements were made, and that's it.
The pilot program too also slightly increases each year, but the county has not given us a real plan as to what they
No,
intend to
we
do.
haven't.
So, you know,
So
all
we
we can
can't
do
count on
is
it.
kind of sit and watch until the tax bills arrive. I only have one other topic I want to bring up. Twice a month, sometimes 3 times a month, I sit on conference calls with the New Jersey Conference of Mayors. While I'm president of that organization this year, I've sat on the legislative committee for a number of years. Also sit on the New Jersey League of Municipalities conference call for mayors in regards to all the current legislation. And I'll tell you, I was on one of them at 8:30 this morning, and when I was done, I was kind of disgusted. We're about a month away from deciding the new budget for the new year. The biggest problem in the state right now is that the revenues are down. They always have hope every time, sales tax will be up or corporate taxes will be up. It doesn't seem like there's anything that's up. And every time you hear of a new program that gets put into place, you need some money, some seed dollars to make that work. I'm kind of scared at seeing how that's going to go in the next few months and where they're going to get the revenue. The only bright spot, and some people have mixed emotions about it, is the sports betting, which will bring a source of some new revenue in to the state. As for other areas, I'm hoping that the powers that be in Trenton get their heads together in the next 30 days or so and try to find some solutions that'll carry us through the next couple of years. There's only so many raids on different funds and consolidating and name changing of the situations that can happen to make the state run properly. And there's a couple of innovative ideas out there right now, and not a one of them, after spending the time on the call this morning, looks like it's going to pass in time for the June 30th, July 1 changing of the budgets, and other than sports betting. So we'll see what's happening, but I just want to let you know that we do try to stay in touch with what's going on in Trenton and how it could impact us.
And Mayor, they said the franchise taxes, which we depend on as a municipality, as all the municipalities do, may be taken up by the state and not given to us because they need it.
The energy taxes, which has been an ongoing battle for probably since the year 2002 or 3 with all different administrations, Democrat, Republican, etc., has not been able to be solved. The school funding crisis has not been able to solve, but if you ask anybody what the number one priority is on the state's wish list or the Assembly and Senate list, is that they want to get better funding to the schools. And it's great. It sounds promising every year until that dies a sudden death. And like I said, at the moment, I'm not very optimistic, and I don't mean to say this from a doom and gloom standpoint. There's always other possibilities that can happen. A couple of years ago, I thought Atlantic City was just about done for it, and we've got 2 casinos opening, and Stockton opening, and the gas company opening, and a number of things happening. But, I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention tonight, that we do monitor that. And that's my report, and that concludes our committee reports.
Item 14, public comment. The committee welcomes participation of interested organizations and individuals during regular caucus workshop and special meetings. However, in order to conduct the business of the township in the most productive manner possible, attendees will be given 4 minutes, all inclusive, including all dialogue, questions, and responses from both the speaker and the committee for the designated public portion of the meeting. There may be no transference of a speaker's time to other attendees. Please stand up to the microphone at the appropriate time. State your name and address for the record. Thank you.
I take a motion at this time to open the meeting to the public.
Moved.
Second.
Mr. Martinelli, Mr. Williams, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is now open to the public. Anyone wishing to address the committee can do so at this time. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Richard Harlan. I'm from Newtonville. Being involved with the 54 shuttle, I'd like to give you a little update along with John Williams' information. But from April 2017 to April 2018, we've had a 33% increase. We're up to 62 people per day. We only need 94 to ensure all grants. My other question is to Dave Scheide. These tax map revisions, these revisions that were made, is there a copy available for the public on that? What were the revisions, do you?
Yeah, I do. So basically, over the course of a year, things happen to different people's individual properties. It could be a subdivision. If they came before the planning board, they got a subdivision, one lot became 2 lots. That would go on the list of the tax assessor. She would save those items up. We would make the appropriate revisions on the tax maps. If there were consolidation of lots, if someone brought their survey in, if the tax map says they're 14 acres, they had a survey done and said, hey, I'm only 10 acres, you've assessed me too high, we'll review that, modify the tax maps as necessary. So those are the things that the assessors brought to our attention. They're on the tax maps. They'll be in her office tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Dave, appreciate it.
Sure.
The other thing that I'd like to ask is contraction administration for $24,920. I'm not familiar with contraction administration. Is this the contracts that you are monitoring to go out for bids?
What's the topic?
On here, it says here, for Malaga-Weymouth Road Phase 6,
Phase-
contraction administration.
Contract administration.
Administration.
It says contraction. Maybe it's
It's
a
a typo,
I
probably.
don't know what
Okay.
you're reading, but okay.
Okay, but that's why I didn't understand.
There's 2 sections for every road program. First is the
Yeah, I
the
understand.
design.
I just didn't understand the word there, that's why I was trying,
Yeah,
why
I
would
don't
you
know what
pay
you're reading.
24.9 for
One is contract
contraction?
administration.
What kind of
and
contraction?
construction
You know,
inspection.
practicing.
Is that one of my documents? My
No,
misspelling?
it's just, it's probably a typo here. My last question is for Ms. Kenya. What is the percent of our tax collection? What do we collect out of all
Out
the
of the
property
year,
tax?
we do like about 98%.
Exactly. That's what I thought. That's what you've been doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, that's a good job, sir.
Anyone else wish to address the committee at this time?
Question for the engineer. You mentioned that any future repaving would be done with future grants and what have you. I want to go back to when the gas company put a pipeline underneath Post Road.
Okay.
I don't think you were the engineer at the time, but they put this pipeline underneath Post Road, and they must have hauled a couple hundred dump truck loads of soil. And what they did is they went west on Post Road. When it was paved just the area where they dug. And they stopped. To this crew here, these poor guys are constantly patching the road. It's probably, I don't know, from the our township line to, what is that, maybe 1,000 yards, 2,000 yards?
That's correct.
You got the big sign up that says, rough road ahead. It's been rough since those dump trucks just broke up all of the macadam, leaving these huge cracks. And you know what happens with the cracks. Water goes in, it freezes, and these poor guys are constantly patching holes. I mean, I commend you, but it's just ridiculous that small section, how come South Jersey Gas didn't have to pave that when they did the damage with all of those dump trucks?
So was this an area that they put a gas main in, or this?
No, that they paved.
Okay.
But from that point where they took the dump trucks out, they ruined our road.
So this is Post Road near the township line?
Yeah,
For
it's-
about 1,000 yards?
Yeah, it's from where the creek is, Sickings Pond, from there to the Vineland line.
We'll take a look at it.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's correct.
When was that work done, Ken?
6 years ago, 7 years ago?
Yeah, 6, 7 years ago. And it just didn't make sense that South Jersey, all they paved was where they were working. But the road that they destroyed, they didn't have to fix.
Let me review it. Let me see if we can get a response back for you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else wish to address the committee at this time? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to close the public portion.
Motion to close?
Mr. Williams,
Second?
Mrs. Kelly, all in favor?
Aye.
We did executive session earlier this evening as part of our caucus. There were items that were reviewed, but no action was taken as a result of those items. Correct, Dominic?
That's correct.
That being said, that's the last item on our agenda, and at this time, I would take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mrs. Kelly, Mr. Williams, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Have a good summer. We'll have it cooler in here next month.